Greetings and welcome to the 71st episode of Retro Rant. We are keeping the excitement at its peak here in the channel, reviewing yet another text adventure, Gnome Ranger, released in 1987 by Level 9 for every micro of that era. I chose to review the Amiga version because I believe the graphics look fabulous in this one. Now, this is not a game I had back in the day, and although I am a huge adventure game fan, I generally avoided text adventures because of the clunky parsers and the puzzles that required you to be high on something to solve them. If you are a regular of this channel, you will probably know that I have something of a personal quest to try and discover text adventure games that are actually playable and enjoyable for the 21st century gamer, and this explains all these titles reviewed in the channel. The results thus far have been pretty disappointing, but let's see if Gnome Ranger can actually tip the scales in favor of this obscure genre. You control Ingrid, this beautiful gnome that has just graduated from the university Gnome Economics department and has returned to her family. Seeing that her relatives are rather disorganized, she tries to implement her hard-earned knowledge in gnome economics to make their lives easier, but ends up causing all kinds of havoc. Her family is soon fed up with her, so they give her a scroll which teleports her away. Nice way to deal with a family issue, by the way. Ingrid, instead of doing the right thing, that is accusing her family on some third-rate reality TV show, must find her way back to her loving folks. The title picture is enough to give a person nightmares for the rest of his lifetime, but this is not a horror-themed game, but a humorous fantasy one. The rest of the graphics of Gnome Ranger are simply beautiful, with a very smooth selection of soft colors for the various locations that really bring the game world to life, so I'm a big fan. As is the norm with text adventures, the game is unfortunately completely silent, so you can load your favorite mischievous fantasy tunes to accompany your gameplay. And let's get to the most important factor in a text adventure, which can make or break the game: the parser. Well, I am happy to say that Gnome Ranger has one of the most sophisticated parsers I have ever encountered. While not in any way perfect, it feels very competently designed and it offers everything I usually ask: abbreviations, retyping last command options, and easy fluid navigation. Gnome Ranger pulls all the stops here with some limited undo option if you type oops, and also the backtracking is greatly reduced by typing go to place or even better run to place. Quite unlike The Hobbit, where you were supposed to give commands to the various NPCs through some obscure wording, here everything makes sense, and it is simply a matter of typing the name of the friendly NPC and telling him or her what you want done. For example, Ron Gilbert, port Thimbleweed Park to the Amiga. Please, a man can only dream. The game has a charming joke of inserting a G before every word that begins with an N, and the parser, being consistent with the theme of the game, understands if you type words with a G in front, like Gnorthwest or Gnugget, and this attention to detail warms the heart of this grumpy adventurer. The writing of the game is also superb, with detailed, enjoyable descriptions that ooze quality and care. If for some unexplainable reason you don't want to enjoy all this masterful text, you have the option to activate brief text, but you would be missing out a lot of the enjoyment Gnome Ranger has to offer. I should also mention that there is a very nice novella included in the game describing Ingrid's antics after her graduation that I recommend you download and read. All is not roses in this game though, since the puzzles, and I use the term puzzles very loosely here, are seriously disappointing. They are not Discworld level bad, and I don't think anything can even attempt to reach Discworld level bad, but they are nonsensical, they have no coherence with the setting or the character, and I could only figure some of them out through trying silly stuff with the parser. The game is also full of red herrings, which can be tolerable sometimes, but here you will have more red herrings in your inventory than actual useful items. Solutions to the riddles that actually make sense simply don't work, and you just have to guess what the developers had in mind if you want to progress. Also, some puzzles require you to be in a specific place to work, which of course you have no way of reasoning, but it is a matter of luck or trial and error or both. Needless to say, this makes Gnome Ranger an exercise in guesswork. As if this weren't enough, it is very easy to soft lock yourself in Gnome Ranger and be a dead gnome walking without even knowing it. Another fantastic feature that adventure gamers simply adore. Overall, there is a lot to love in Gnome Ranger, but ultimately the garbage puzzles ruin the experience. The initial awe and immersion caused by the superb artwork and writing soon give way to boredom and pointlessness and a general lack of direction. So that's it for GNOW. Try to be nice to your family, and I'll see you next time.